Hey, listen, shout out to Trapdoor Print. They print custom gear for skate shops, brands, and anyone building something cool. They already handle print runs for the US brands they distribute through Trapdoor Distribution. It's all printed locally here in Australia, and you can supply your own blanks, or you can pick from your favourites, such as AS Colour, Gildan, or American Apparel. But basically, they'll work with whatever you want to use. Just hit them up for a free quote via print at trap-door.com, or check them out on their socials. There's a link in this episode's show notes.
Chop the hold us back, the hold us, chop the hold us back.
We will be here forever. Do you want to see?
This week, I catch up with the man behind Cockroach Wheels Australia. It is Luke Newman. Luke and I met up at the God Bowl in Brisbane for a skate before the podcast, and we were joined by his team riders, Dan Pitcher and George Titchbon, aka Swelbos. And those boys are absolutely ripping. It was a fun session. That bowl is terrifying. It's not a bowl, it's a proper pool, that thing. And Luke was part of its original construction over 20 years ago, so there was history there. Then we sat down and had a nice long conversation about his life so far, and he has had an interesting life. He's a skateboarder to his core, but also very passionate about connecting with people through what he does as a barber, and starting the hair product brand Uppercut Deluxe years ago, and then deciding to move away from that as it got too big. Wanted to simplify his life. It's an inspirational story. Shout out to Luke's brother Ben for putting us up in some accommodation that night, and again, just a salt of the earth human. I left Brisbane just feeling so inspired. So thanks, gentlemen. So sit back, relax, and get to know Mr. Luke Newman, everybody. Cheers. I feel like I'm talking down to you.
Not at all.
No disrespect.
Not at all. No, this is good.
Is it?
Yeah, perfect.
How do your legs feel?
A bit jelly after that session.
Wow, man.
So it's been a while since I skated that bowl.
Yeah.
It was awesome though. So much fun. So much fun. Yeah.
How long have you been skating that bowl?
So we built that bowl 20 years this year. So it's been unbelievable. Yeah, like that it's lasted that long. And then it's still, dudes are still skating it. But it's been a long time since I've skated it, since I moved away.
Were you there for the construction?
Yeah. Rob Lewis from Concrete Skate Parks. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Who was on that crew? Do you remember?
Ooh.
Did Scott Spring get in there?
No, Scotty. It would have been awesome to have Scotty. Noah Phillips. I think maybe Joel Webb. Yeah, I don't know. All the old pirate Hesh crew.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it was good.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just give us a bit of a context of where we are and what bowl exactly you're talking about.
So we're sitting at the God Bowl at Mansfield in Brizzy, and this is, I suppose it was a youth centre that we petitioned to build a pool back in the day. So we were all just hungry to skate bowls and pools, and we grew up at a youth group here, and we just wanted to. They just seemed open to do a cool space to do it. So the church was down, and they just said if you can fundraise enough money, we can do it here. And I suppose the insurance and liability covered it. So yeah, it was cool.
So you guys pitched it to the church?
Yeah, we wanted to do that DIY thing, but there was just nowhere we could do it. And then, like the bowl that we wanted to do, we needed someone who could do it properly. Mm. So yeah, it was kind of at that, that stage where all those pool guys in San Diego, and we just wanted to have that scene here. So, yeah. So it was cool, and they were open to it, and like thankfully public liability and all that craziness wasn't too hectic at the time. So yeah, we could get it happening.
So it came together easy.
Well, yeah, it was still a lot of money at the time. It was probably like $30,000 that we had to fundraise. So yeah, we all kind of just chipped in and did events, and then the final push, I think an old couple from the church were just like heard about it and gave us the last part, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Just chipped in.
So yeah.
So youth group, hey?
Yeah.
Big part of your story?
Man, it's, definitely. Like my dad, all my life growing up, my dad used to be an electrician, and then at like the year I was born, he became a pastor. So it was just something that I, was raised in, and it's definitely part of my DNA growing up. You know, like I grew up sleeping under chairs in a church service. So, yeah.
Have you drifted away from it over the years?
I think I would call myself almost like a Christian mystic in the fact that I believe in Jesus, and I believe like who he is and what he said he is, but I don't believe in a Western style gospel, like the prosperity. I don't believe in the way it translates now into modern culture. I feel like it's almost like when you think of Jesus as like this rabbi cruising around with sandals in the desert, and the message that he spoke, and then you see how it's translated in modern culture, you're like, dude, that's so far from it. And, you know, like the stuff that he spoke about, if you take it seriously, it's so far from how the world is living. And even, you know, how the gospel's portrayed, it's more like a self-help, Tony Robbins style. So I think and, you know, not taking away from that, it works for some people. You know, some people need that positivity and that slap on the back. And, but yeah, for I think the average person, it's like, it goes over their head. You know, they want to feel like faith in the gutter, not from the mountaintops. I'm just like, I've always been like, it's got to be real in your everyday life. It's got to be sustainable. It's got to be something that's natural. It's like if it's something that's contrived, or you act a certain way on Sunday but not in the workplace, like that, just to me, I've seen so many dudes that it's almost like they've gone from one extreme to the other. It's like you have to sustain a faith. It's got to be something that you walk through every day, and it's a slow burn to the finish line, you know? Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So these are common themes you've seen over a lifetime of being involved in it.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's even that in skateboarding, you know? You see dudes just come and go, and like, I suppose it's just they come and like it's just a fireball, and then all of a sudden, you know, you just see these train wrecks, you know? I suppose it's the same in any scene. There's just, you have, it's the extremities, you know?
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, do you think because there are people who have been involved and demonstrated those extremities, I think that's been bad for the brand
of like Christianity? And I think, do you know what? I think it's like, it's just the nature of man to like mess things up, you know? Like guys just want And, you know, a lot of people probably start out with such good intentions, you know, like they're like, yes, cool, we're doing this for the right reason. We want to help people, you know, we want to give people purpose and hope. But then the ego trip just takes over and then it's just like they've just created chaos, you know, for them and for people around them. So, yeah, I think it's just like for me, it's just always like bringing it back to the simplicity of just like having faith, but just like caring for your fellow man and like always just bringing it back to the main thing, you know?
Yeah, because I mean, I was going to ask you, like, yeah, what do you prescribe to? Just you stick to the Bible?
Yep.
And that's kind of it? Or do you find your community?
Like, for me, my faith, it's like, it's all about, for sure, like I read the scriptures, but it's like it's, you know, praying for my kids, like for my wife, for my loved ones. But it's not, man, I keep it very simple. Like I love outdoor, like I love nature, I love hiking. And for me, that's like my spirituality. Like I connect with God out in those places.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I think in the Western world where we're just like constantly being, you know, tempted with digital devices and just like to make life as easy and just dopamine hits, I think you got to keep pushing against that. And I think for me, spirituality is like that. It's that rebellion against the thing that wants to crush your soul, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. And I think that's the beauty of the simplicity. And whenever I have had those times or I've like wanted to throw the towel in, I just keep coming back to like the simplicity of like who Jesus was and what he did. And he had no home and he just cruised around and helped people. And I'm like, dude, how can you argue with that? You know? So that's I suppose that's just the simplicity of it, you know? So, and it's not meant to be marketed. It's not meant to be like I get it. I get why people have conventions, conferences, mega churches, all this stuff. They just get amped on it. But it can take away from the main thing.
Okay. It's interesting you mention that because where we're skating right now, this area, there's like maybe one of the biggest church complexes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it's like, it really looks fancy and affluent even.
Yeah.
And I guess my initial reaction was, wow, like there's a lot of money floating around here, you know? And like then you're sort of talking about how it needs to be more humble than that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask you this, if it's drawing people in and creating a community, I mean, you're not against that either.
100% not against it. Like when you look at what this place is, it is because, you know, this is, I don't know, like this place is probably 50 years old more, you know, of what, and they would have bought this land cheap as chips back in the day, you know. So it is, and this church, this community has done so much rad for, you know, and it gives people a purpose. It's a place to come. I think what I'm against is when you find identity in like a denomination or type of faith and not in a person. That's when it gets scary. And it is easy, like to, you know, like when you see behind closed doors a lot of things, like it is actually easy, really easy to market, you know, the product. Yeah.
You don't, and excuse my ignorance here, but you don't prescribe to a particular denomination, or do you identify with one?
No, not really. Like there's definitely denominations. Like I'd be on the more low key side of things.
Is that like, so I know that I want to say denomination, there's like Presbyterian, Anglican, Catholic. These all kind of under the Christian banner.
Yeah.
But you fall into the like low key.
Yeah. So I
So
would
there's like Presbyterian, Anglican, low key.
no. Well, it's more. I suppose like Baptist would be the closest, where it's like it's not too hype. It's not your classic, like
I don't even know what that
hype up.
means. I'll
Yeah.
be sure. I don't even know what's the difference between Baptist and Anglican. I don't even know.
Well, it's different emphasis on the on different parts of your faith, or like some people like that real conservative style of church. Some people like, almost like going to a concert, the hype up, like so. But yeah, for me, like I love, my idea of, a good church service is like would be something super mellow, few songs, someone teaches from the Bible, and then we go home without the extremities.
Yes.
Without the hype up.
So where'd you grow up? What exact suburb and city?
I grew up like 10 minutes from here.
So Brisbane
Yep,
boy.
Brisbane.
Born and raised.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
For sure.
Siblings?
Yeah. Got one older brother who got me into skateboarding.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the area you grew up in, like how would you describe it as a kid? Was it rough? Was it pretty just like
Nah, it was
working class?
It was just mellow. Just blue collar, working class neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was rad.
Yeah, right. But
Yeah.
you said your dad became a pastor when you were 1.
Yep. Year I was born.
Right.
He went into
So from what I understand, that's a lot of work being involved at
Yep.
that level. So
Yep.
a lot of your life would have been, at church on Sundays and probably in between as well, right?
Yep, for sure.
So you never, as a kid, you never would have feelings of like, this is boring, or I'm sick of this, or I don't like this? Or did it feel like you just had an extended family?
I really didn't like it when I was a kid, because like no kid I don't think likes being dragged to a church service and just sitting there and stuff. But there was some cool people, and it was always a rad community, and I knew that like Dad was so passionate about it, and like he's always just had such a good intentions to help people. So yeah, and like I definitely grew up in it, where I was like, I probably got to a point at a teenager where, I left to go to another church where some mates were and stuff. But yeah, it wasn't till probably maybe, I want to say like around 20, I went overseas on a skate trip to Portland in Oregon, and I found some skaters that I skated with over there, and they were part of a little church over there. And that's probably where I really actually connected and with like-minded crew that actually had a faith as well. Yeah.
Look, I don't want to keep, I didn't expect that we'd be talking so much about your faith. I hope you don't mind.
No, dude.
I'm genuinely curious
Yeah.
about a few things.
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
got a couple more questions
Yeah.
for you. So, I think in my lifetime, my mum's a devout Christian,
Yeah.
always has been.
Yeah.
And I've at times resented her for it.
Yeah.
And also, but then I look at her life.
Yeah.
And the adversity she's overcome, and in her older years, she's like beautiful, calm, peaceful, kind soul.
Yeah.
Who has a distinct lack of bitterness,
Yeah.
But over the years, I've noticed, I think the thing that has repelled me from Christianity and other people I know is that feeling like they're being Christians want to sell them something,
Totally.
and how do you feel about that? I mean, is it because the Bible is telling Christians that to be a good Christian, you must bring other people into the faith and save them? Because it seems polarizing.
Do you know, I heard this saying, and I'm going to butcher it, but it was kind of like, it was along the lines of like, preach the gospel at all times, and if necessary, use words.
Oh,
And
okay.
for me, as like, because I've always been a bit of an introvert, I'm not like a hype guy. I love just, like I said, I just love just being on my own program. I'm like it all, and I had this modeled to me, quite well by some older people when I grew up. It's like, I think faith, like to others, is service. It's like serving your community. It's serving others. And it's like, if people want to talk about it, that's rad. Like now, it's like there's no we have no agenda talking about this.
Well, I brought it up.
This is just dudes talking about life, talking about faith. Like if like we come across anything, like it's rad. But no one wants to be sold. No one wants to be sold anything. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it is what it is. And I just feel like if like everyone just comes to their own, but for me, I think like faith is, it's helping your fellow man and it's giving them hope. Like, you know, in a world where it's pretty cooked, it's so rad to have, for me, like something to come back to every day. Like if I'm dealing with anxiety or depression or whatever, I'm like, cool, like, at least I've got a reference point for my life and I don't have to go to the next guru or the next seminar. I'm like, cool, this is something that calms me. This is something that settles me. This is I can go for a hike and it's just like, that's my point of reference and that's where I can find my peace, you know?
Yes, sir.
But anything other than that, it's just like, dude, like, why would you?
You're not judging your homies and stuff if they're not into it, are you?
Like that's why probably I struggle with church culture because like that's not where I land.
Dude, my mum's the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, like for me, church is like having people over for dinner, hanging out, and just like that's community.
Right.
Like, and that's where, you know, my wife and I, like that's kind of that's our thing.
What do you do when you get like a tough decision to make? Do you just go, God, Jesus, help me with this decision and stuff? Do you say that?
Yeah, for me, I love just going hiking, and for me, like silence and solitude is like, and just like I feel like, it's you just. It's about calming yourself. It's about keeping yourself just like open, not trying to force a door. Like if I've got a big decision to make, whatever, I don't want to force it. I don't want to push it. I just want to be like open and, you know, hopefully like just get the right, God guides you in the right way.
How old are your kids?
They are 10 and 12.
How do they feel about it?
That's rad. They're actually... I've tried to really encourage them to have a natural faith. It's just like every night when we go to bed, just have a little prayer, just kind of almost like, what are you worried about? What are you thankful for? Let's just, keep it real simple. I think like my head got pretty cooked like young with like so much going on in the thing. So I'm trying to just go, all right, boys, like this is our point of reference. This is what we're about. And, but yeah, like I just want them to find it for themselves too at the same time. It's like skating. It's like as if I'm going to be skate coach on my kids because they're just going to hate it. So it's like try and model it. It's like where it's like, cool, like dad loves skating. He has fun skating. And it's like if dad finds his peace and solitude in God and stuff, like, well, like, that's rad, but it's not, they've got to find that for themselves too.
Yeah. Good advice, man.
Yeah.
Because I pray for my kids.
Heck yeah. Like, why wouldn't you? Like, they're so precious.
Well, yeah. And like I feel like children have made me more open to the belief that there is a God.
Dude, it's like when you feel that love, like when your kid comes out and you see that love, you're like, oh man, there's something so much heavier going on here. Yeah, totally.
It's like, for lack of a better term, it's a mystical experience, childbirth.
100%.
It's mystical.
That's like, there's so much things that you just can't explain in this way. And that's why I call myself a Christian mystic. I'm like, I have no idea where all the answers lies, but I do know that like for me, like that is my best point of peace. So like, I'm happy just to hang my boots on that.
Interesting. Because I started praying for my kids before bed, but I got to prayer through AA program. I was in AA for years. Like it really helped me. Yeah. And actually kind of it introduced me to the concept of prayer because they say the serenity prayer. Yeah. You know, and I was like, oh, every time I say that, I feel peace.
Well, it's like, surrender. Prayer is like surrender. It's just like.
I just felt this like, like I can breathe for a minute now.
Totally.
You know? And so I'd put my kids to bed and I'd sing to them and then I'm like, oh, I've got to say something else.
Yeah.
So I started saying the Serenity Prayer to them. And now it's like my son's just turned 7.
Yeah.
And my daughter's 10. And now it's like, there's like, you have to pray for us before bed. And like my daughter said to me, she said it a few times, but when she was about 5, she said, Dad, when you pray for me, I feel safe. Because you know how kids get real scared before they go to sleep?
Totally.
She said, but when I do that, she doesn't feel scared of the dark.
Yeah,
I'm like,
sure.
Oh, well, I'll just keep doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's right, dude.
Yeah, totally. But you get that as adults. Like you get scared as an adult. You know, you get anxious. You have panic attacks. You're like, so good.
I was scared today, like dropping in on the shallow end of that bowl. I literally said, I said a prayer.
I was scared too. Don't worry.
How much is George and Dan ripping?
Dude.
Those guys are just fired up.
They're the best. Like, it's so rad to have those guys as your team riders because they're just so stoked and so raw on skateboarding.
They really are.
100%.
Hungry.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like they were saying, and you were saying earlier, that you feel that the Brisbane skate scene is in a bit of a low, a bit of a depression.
Yeah.
And they said it too.
Yeah.
Like, what's your theory on it?
I don't know. Like, for me, I am so stoked that I get to, like, you know, sponsor those dudes. It's because it's like, for me, that's such a rad representation of skateboarding. Like, you know, that whole thing, I think Grosso said it, whatever, there's skateboarders and people that skate. You know what I mean? Like, they're skateboarders. They love it.
They really are.
They just love it, you know? So, I'm still trip out on the scene and why people aren't into it. Like, you know, we grew up in a generation where it was like, it was everything. You just loved skateboarding.
But it was still niche. It was still small.
Yeah.
But in your mind, maybe, and I have to keep questioning, in my mind, I'm like, it was huge, but maybe it wasn't.
Well, but maybe it was documented so well too. So we had magazines, you would look at the mag and you would like, dude, like that event's happening, you know.
And they had longevity.
Whereas now it's like there's an Insta clip or whatever and it's like.
It's forgotten.
Is there even, you know, like events are just, they're a thing, and I think kids too, like just see stuff and it's like, man, I will never be that rad or like I'm just going to kill myself doing that. So why bother? Whereas like for us, it was like, cool. Look at that mag, like look at that music, look at that band, look how that dude's like dressing or whatever. Like I'm like, I want to emulate that, you know. And then the skating flew from that, like came on from that. But now we're just seeing like skateboarding on such ridiculous levels that we're like, oh, like it's kind of overwhelming.
I think it was like Paul Zitzer said it in an interview recently or someone, I can't remember, but they were saying because like the standard of skating is so high, it's almost off-putting for new skaters.
Yeah.
Because it's just too high. It's like doesn't seem accessible.
It doesn't. And that's like, I think there was, who was it? Like in that Bones Brigade doco or whatever, it's like they saw all the bones, but then they saw Lance Mountain cruising around the streets and like, that is rad.
Yeah.
Because he's carving the streets. Like he tied that whole Bones Brigade movie together and he was, you know, more like the ring in, but he became the favourite because he was like the people's skateboarder. You know? So he was like, dude, he just even doing a slappy or a boneless over a curb, dudes were like, oh, that makes me want to go skateboarding.
Dude, that's why he was my first ever skateboard, Lance Mountain.
100%.
Because of that reason.
So I was like that, and then, you know, you'd see him like he'd wear like Stiff Little Fingers t-shirt. You started listening to the Stiff Little Fingers. Like it's all these rad little links in the chain, and then before you know it, you feel like you're part of a secret society that people don't get. Yeah. You know, and I think that's what's missing now. I feel like we probably used to walk around as skateboarders going, like, we got this secret that the rest of the world doesn't know about that we're onto, you know? Whereas now...
But do we?
Well, look, you look about how much it influences everything that we do and how we view the world. Like we're looking at, you know, like we were talking the other day about like how many rad people have you met through skateboarding or how much it's unlocked you to music, or art or all these subcultures. Like my wife, she trips out on how deep the tunnel is with all this stuff, and it's all because of skateboarding.
100%.
You know, like,
We
and
wouldn't be
that's
here right now if it wasn't for skateboarding.
like it's just it's opened up so many doorways, and it's because, like, you know, as when we grew up, we were just so immersed into it, and we just wanted, everything clicked, you know. So I don't know.
In this world of like YouTube vloggers and stuff, there's a guy called Gifted Hater. Have you heard of him?
No.
I mean, he's more on the cynical side, but
Yeah.
he basically analyzes skate culture.
Yeah.
He can be pretty brutal in his judgments.
Yeah.
But I got to say, he's spot on. And
Yeah.
his theory on why skating will never be that big mainstream sport that we all keep thinking it will be, or wanted it to be, or thinking that the Olympics was going to turn it into, is because end of the day, it's a really hard thing to do.
Totally.
You know, and it's not,
and it hurts.
and it hurts, and it's like someone will get into it, then they'll have one good slam, and they're like, that's not for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's hard. It's brutal.
and it's a good call, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, for sure. But that's probably what appeals to it when you're growing up and as a kid. Like for me, I think like my brother was the raddest growing up. Like he was always like, for me, skateboarding was always like, it was almost like you were the part of the outsiders, you know? Like it was just.
And I loved that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what's so and that's what gets you so bummed that people don't get into it. But at the same time, like, you're like, do I actually really want everyone to get into it?
That's a good call.
And that's why, like,
Even as a business owner,
dude, having
having
a brand like Cockroach and stuff, it's like, yeah, like everyone, like, this is so rad, get into it. But at the same time, you're like, nah, actually, like, I want to kind of close the door a bit, because it's like, if it becomes mainstream, you'll just ruin it.
What about them sales, Luke? You know, aren't you hanging your whole livelihood on?
No, it's
You're not. What?
Well,
Let's talk about that.
yeah, all right.
Go.
So, yeah, well, I like you hear about people about how bad the skate scene is right now.
Well, the skate industry.
Skate industry, like
Maybe it's worse than the depression of the 90s.
I don't know. Like
going.
this is my first crack at it, so I haven't ridden the wild wave. But for me, I'm like, I have to remember, like, Cockroach for me, it's like, and my wife laughs at this, it's like, it's an art project, but that can pay the bills.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, if you get it, if you want to get into cocky, that's rad. For me, Cockroach is special. I grew up in Australia. I think it's a brand that should be protected and loved and cared for. But like, if you want to ride cockies, if you get it, 100%, like, join the, like, you see how stoked they get on Dan and like Swellboat. It's like, they get it. Like, they're just, and that's rad. Like, that's just punk rock skateboarding. But it's like, if you have to pedal and flog your stuff, it's a race to the bottom. And like the industry, I think the industry's the way it is. It's just because the market has just been flooded with so much crap, and just like, and everything's always on discount. It's like, dude, don't you value this stuff? Like this is our, you know, like, and I think that's what ruins it. It's like brands, like for me, like I've always loved Black Label and all those small core independent companies. And if you can run a brand from your garage where you don't have to have the overheads, you can keep skateboarding sacred. And I know it sounds like idealistic, but it's just like, it's never going to be, unless you want to create the next big thing and sell it to the highest bidder. Like, and you know, there's merit in that. Like, that's cool. But for me, it's not where, I don't know. That's not what the dream is with cocky.
So you're not relying on it as your sole source of income?
Dude, I still just cut hair. Like, I'm a barber by trade.
Epic.
And that's my bread and butter. And yeah, like I just do cocky on the side, and that yeah, it's like I said, it's an art project that pays the bills, but it's not like it's never going to.
How'd you get into cutting hair?
So, oh, dude, I've had a bit of a run. So after school, I finished school and I studied theology for 2 years, which is like the scriptures. And then I did graphic design. I did that and I worked in a studio for as soon as I got out of that. And then I was like, this actually sucks. I hate working in a studio, doing catalogs, doing brochures. It was just like I had this idea that, it would be way more cooler than what it was, but I was just over it. And about that time, I went over to Portland and I was just skating over there. Like I was right into the whole Burnside
Are you sponsored?
DIY thing. I was at the time. Actually, yeah, I was. I was like sponsored by Koala for
Koala distribution.
Big shout out to Andy McKenzie, raddest distro ever in Australia. And Andy had me on flow with Black Label and Spitty and Ace Trucks, and I don't remember Vox Footwear.
I do vaguely.
Yeah, Vox.
Actually, was it Kareem? No, Kareem did Action.
Vox was, I think it was after 88. So Ed Dominic and all those dudes. Yeah. So so I went over there. I wanted to skate all Burnside. There was like pools in Donald in Oregon. Like there was just in that Pacific Northwest, there was just an insane concrete scene. So I went over to, there and spent some time there, and that was just, unbelievable. It was really cool.
Game changer?
Yeah.
So, okay. And then you got back.
Got back. And then, that's what I went on a tangent. I was staying in Portland, and just around from the corner was this dude that was cutting hair in this really cool old school shop. I just right next to where I used to get my coffee every day. And I was like, dude, that's actually looks really rad. It was like proper old school, like 50s style barbershop. But there was like this younger guy working in it. I was like, that's actually a really rad trade. And my one of our relatives was a barber, and one of my other mates in Brisbane had quit school and did a barber's apprenticeship. I'm like, actually, I should like look into that when I get back to Australia. So I got back and I walked around to a bunch of barbershops in Brizzy, and dudes were just looking at me like, what? Like, no one's asked us for an apprenticeship in like 10 years. Like, because it was still, barbering was it was very old school, like old Italian dudes,
It wasn't like popular.
It wasn't like a thing,
Because it's on trend again,
It's like, it's crazy. It trips me out. But it was very, very old school, just, like I remember even just telling a few people, I think I'm going to like do a barber's apprenticeship. They're like looking at me like I'd lost my mind. But yeah, I went in and then I walked in and there was a guy called Tony. He was an old English barber, and he looked at me and he was like, I don't think anyone's ever asked me for an apprenticeship. He was like, can you start tomorrow? So I was like, heck yeah. So I went back and it was the raddest. He was this cool old guy. He was probably like in his 60s. He wanted his son to become a barber. His son never took him up on it. So it was kind of, he wanted to work for a few more years and then just retire. So he's like, come work for me and then you can like buy my barbershop off me and then I'll retire. So it was cool. So we hung out for a couple of years together. He taught me the trade. I ended up doing the trade. So because at this time I was, like mid-20s, and I was so keen to learn that the barber's apprenticeship was, I think, about 3 or 4 years at the time. And I did it in a year, got signed off, and it was epic.
Why? Because you were just like talented.
I was just hungry. I was just trying to find my thing, And I just said to him, like, can I just bring mates in, cut their hair? And then it was rad because, you know, like I went back to apprentice wages after, you know, like working in a graphic design studio. And he would just be like, he would work till 12 o'clock on Saturday, and then he would just be like, dude, just stay on, keep cutting hair, whatever you want, make, you can have. So when I was qualified.
Yeah. I've got to ask this.
Yeah.
What do you specifically enjoy about it? Is it when you do a rad haircut and you're like, man,
Nah, it's, I actually.
Or is it more than that?
Yeah,
It is,
it's, I think it's like, barbering's is really, it's weird in the fact that people are so vulnerable when they're in a barber's chair. They sit down and talk. And it's like you just meet, like you meet kooks for sure, but then you meet some of the raddest, like unassuming or just like cool. Like I've got a home barbershop now because I've built up a clientele over, and then I just pulled the pin on my shop and I built a studio in my backyard, and I just handpicked all these customers from over the years, and they're just all my homies, and I just cut their hair in the backyard.
So you get to hang out.
And I've just got such a cool clientele of people, like guys that are actually like total ballers or just old granddads, which are the funniest dudes, you know? So it's that, I think it's, like I said to my wife the other day, I was like, it's so crazy having access to such cool, beautiful minds in my backyard because I can cut hair.
And you get paid for it.
Get paid for it. You know what I mean? Like, and dudes, like, you know, when you're cutting dudes' hair that are like 60s, 70s, 80s, who are like done some incredible stuff in their life, and you know, they're giving you great like financial advice or life advice or family advice, and you're like, man, where else would I have access to these people? You know, like these guys sit in some huge boardrooms or big corporations, or they've done some, like I said, insane stuff. But yeah, they're just sitting in the chair and we're just shooting the breeze over a haircut.
Do you learn from them?
Heck yeah. Like I think that's Tony, the guy who did my apprenticeship with, he said to me once, he goes, you will travel the world and learn more about life through this chair.
Wow.
And it's true. It's why I still like keep barbering. It's because it's like, you know, like it's actually quite boring just doing haircuts, you know, like every day. But it's the people that the meet and the relationship. And for me, I think it's almost just like my wife kind of calls it like, it's like me being a pastor. It's like just being able to look after people, you know what I mean? Talk to them, encourage them, and like just be.
You're connecting.
Yeah, and you know, like even days where you're just like, dude, I can't be bothered cutting hair today, or I just don't want to do it, or I just want to be a introvert. And then by the end of the day, you come up just like, man, that was actually so rad. That was good for my soul as well as them.
So your books are closed. You're not taking on new clients?
Nah, it's like I've just built up this clientele over the year, and I've just got a private booking thing, and I just You
won't take. Why not some new people? You're gonna, you know.
I've just got the perfect balance of like cutting hair, doing cockroach, and I've just finished homeschooling my kids, so I was doing that on the side too.
So your kids are homeschool?
Well, they've just finished. They've just gone back to school this term.
How long did they do it for?
We did it for 6 months. So one of my eldest was falling a little bit behind at school. So, and we were getting him some tutoring, and but it was just like, it wasn't enough. We just needed to, help him through. So, we took both boys out, and we're just like, all right, for 6 months or a year, whatever it takes to get you. So
was it hard, like tiring on your part?
It was so brutal, but so rewarding. Like to have those years where you're like, man, like it was like huge days. Like I'd get up early, cut hair for a few hours, and then come up. We'd homeschool like for 4 hours in the day. I'd take them, play basketball, go for a skate or go for a swim, whatever. Come back. And then my wife would come home from work, and then I'd cut home, and then I'd cut hair in the afternoon, and then pat cockroach at night.
Did it give you a new appreciation for teachers?
Dude, it's like
I'm just asking.
Well, like, because I get it. It's like you have to stay with the curriculum. Like, we did distance ed, so I didn't have to do any of the lesson planning, but I had to keep them on track. And it's
meet them outcomes, bro.
And it's so, like, it gives you so much respect for teachers, because it's like they have to, like, like, you can so see how kids fall behind because they've just got to keep moving. It's like, if you don't get the curriculum, or if you don't get something in maths or algebra or whatever, it's like, we'd love to stay here, but we just have to keep moving.
Yeah, dude.
Do you know what I mean? So you can so see how kids fall through it. And that's what happened with my eldest. He was just like, and I'm just like, we got to get this done before you go into high school, because his confidence was like falling behind. And
do you feel like it affected them socially in that time?
They
didn't get disconnected.
Dude, they're so social. Like, there's neighbourhood gang. Like, they got so much going. Like, they're probably too social. Like, but they're it's rad. They're back at school. Like, they're fully on top of it. It was definitely a very rewarding experience, but so brutal. Like, I was like, man, how, like, yeah, I was so relieved when we kind of got through it.
Sorry, it's just funny to hear, because, like, as a high school teacher, I wonder sometimes why my mental health's so bad.
Oh, my wife's a high school teacher, and I'm just like,
so she knows.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel
get a new
like that's the only reason I want Cocky to make money, is so I can get her out of work. Like, she's a trooper. I can't believe she does it. Like, I just, like, when I look at like what teachers have to do, I was like,
so therapeutic to hear.
So it was like, damn straight you need all, like, people write teachers off for holiday. I was like, man, that's like their mental health leave. Like, it is
literally.
It's wild. Yeah, when I hear the stories, and I'm like, dude.
Yeah, you throw some behaviour difficulties in there. You throw some learning difficulties in there, and throw some welfare issues in there.
Yeah, and especially I think
parents in there.
Yeah, and like with everything going on now with devices and social media, I'm like, that's just another complexity that.
Can be very rewarding though.
Yeah,
very rewarding.
Yeah, for sure.
I've seen that over the years. It gets more rewarding, I think, the longer you can. But with the hair stuff, like, when did you start Uppercut Deluxe? So tell us about that.
So Tony, that I did my apprenticeship with, I worked with him for a couple of years, and then he was like, that's it, I'm ready to just hit the road. He just wanted to hit the road. He was so keen. So Steve, the other guy that I knew that was a barber, he was down in Coffs Harbour at the time. I'm like, Tony's retiring, we should buy his barber shop and like set it up together. So he was like, yep, cool, I'll move back to Brizzy and we'll do it. So, yeah, we rustled the money together and set it up, and it was so funny because Tony's barbershop, as rad as Tony was, it was just a horrible barbershop. It was just like, there was nothing steezy about it. It was just like...
What do you mean? Like the fit out?
The fit out was so bad. Yeah. He was like an AFL Lions fan, and he just had AFL memorabilia everywhere. I'm just like... So we bought it, Tony hit the road, and Steve and I just gutted it one day. And then, yeah, we just put stuff that we were into. Like, we just put like, you know, cool band things and skateboards and stuff on the wall. And we were like... I wonder if all these like old dudes and stuff are just going to be like, what are these punks doing? Like, they've just turned this shop into like, it was almost just like a skate garage or something. It was hilarious. But it ended up just like taking off. Like, we were so blown away how quickly the business grew, because like, it was a time when, like, most guys would go to hairdressers because barbers would just give you a crappy haircut, you know? So it was just like, it wasn't, but the response from it was just insane. Like, we would like open the doors in the morning and there'd be like 20 dudes queuing at the front of the shop. So it was, for us, it was like, wow, this is, so it grew pretty quick. We went from Steve and I to like we had 6 of us, and we were just cutting hair like 6 days a week. I think on Thursday we did it like 12-hour shift, so we did like 9 to 9.
How many haircuts would you do individually in a 12-hour shift?
So I counted one day. I was kind of averaging 15 minutes a haircut. So like what, 4 and
4 an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what was that? 20
What's 4 times 12?
36.
What's 4 times 12? Hey Siri, what's 4 times 12?
So, no, like, yeah, well, it would have been like 30, 40 haircuts a day.
54, I think.
Yeah. But we were cranking. Like we were doing some crazy. And then we were like, and then we did
48.
We did some teas for the shop, like some merch. And then that started going real good, and then we were ordering.
So wait up, what was the barbershop called though? Uppercut Deluxe?
No, it's called Bare Bones Barbershop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it's still there, still at Morningside. So we were like, at the time you could only get like American Crew and like some of these like more salon brands.
Gotcha.
So we started importing this stuff from America, and which was kind of a little bit more like old school, had cool branding like hair waxes and gels and shaving stuff. And then we put in an order for about $2,000, like the second order, and then the dude never sent it. Just went like,
what, fleeced you for $2,000?
Yeah, just like total. And we were like, stuff this, like let's try and like do our own. So that's when we were like, all right, cool, we'll find a industrial chemist. We'll see, if we can do this. So yeah, we spent about 6 months with this industrial chemist, just going back and forth, experimenting with formulas and stuff until we got something. And then, yeah, we were like, we shouldn't call it Bare Bones Barbershop, because if like other shops wanted it, so we just created. And the whole Uppercut Deluxe thing came out of, my granddad was like a boxer in the Jimmy Sharman's boxing troupe.
I remember, I know the branding.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that old school.
Old school boxer. So, and I was like, and he was like this, Irish immigrant, like just kind of like, just like this old school, like blue collar dude, slicked his hair back, just boxed. And I was like, actually, that would be, and then it was my wife that came up with the name. She was like, why don't you just call it like Uppercut? I was like, actually, yeah, rad.
That's cool.
So yeah, and then because I was a graphic designer I'd done my graphic design, I was like, cool, I'll do all the packaging, and Steve, you do the formula. And Steve's wife, Kira, she was like a sales rep for some ladies, like I don't even know, like skin or hair company.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'll sell it on the side. Sweet. So yeah, and then and it was so funny because we were like, man, there's only like 3 barbershops in each town. So in each kind of capital at the time, like you would go to Melbourne and I'd be like, this is insane. There's only like 4 or 5 good barbershops here. So, and then, but like it was just, the timing was just, it was epic. Like within a year, it was like the whole barbering thing. I think it was kind of coincided with tattoo shops, and there was just a scene starting to emerge. And then that's when Uppercut blew up.
Yeah, like blew up as in like it was in Coles and Woolies and stuff, wasn't it?
It's never gone, but it's like
I've seen it around a lot.
Yeah, it's in a bunch of stuff. So yeah, we had some crew come in who were like, cool, like we'll invest in it. You can step out of the barbershop and work it full time, and we'll give you a wage to work on it. So that was epic. So yeah, we sold part of the share of the company to them, so we could continue to grow it, I suppose. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks, bro. Yeah. So and then we just kept on working in it. So it was
So at what point did you go, I'm out?
So, it was rad. Like to be able to go and work in it was, but like we'd been going hard for probably at this stage. I'm trying to think, maybe 5 years in the barber shop developing this product. Like it was like when I say we're like burnt out, we were like going hard. We couldn't find barbers. We were just we were just burning the candle at both ends. So we got into it and then we just hit the ground running because we're like, cool, we've got these guys are financing it. Like they're good business heads. They're behind it. So yeah. And then like my job just got even more hectic because I was a graphic designer and I was doing global, like they had an office in the UK, in the States, and I was just doing all the digital assets. Like we were having to redo all the packaging, like to meet, requirements to sell in each, region and stuff. There was so much going on and I was just like, far out. It's awesome. And then going to the States, doing trade shows and all that stuff. And it was awesome, but it was just at that point where it's like we had just had our firstborn and I'm like, dang, like I don't know if I can sustain this kind of level of, mentally I was like, man, I don't know if there's not a lot of margin in my life, okay. I've really, so yeah, I could definitely feel, I don't know if you'd call it burnout or just exhaustion, but okay. That's where I was kind of at.
Prioritize family.
So we had our first son, Hensley, and Ellie and I, my wife, we always wanted to move out of the city. We love like growing up in Brizzy, but we're like, we just don't want to be in a city raising a family. So we were like, either we're going to move to Brunswick Heads or we're going to move to Peregian Beach. So we were like, they're our two spots. Ellie had some family up the sunny coast and we went up there and we were like, this is rad. So I don't know, like we came, I just went into the boys one day and I just said, listen guys, like, I think we want to move. I think we want to go out. Like, would you guys be down like to buy out our share? What would that look like? And it was pretty like, and it's like people would say like, dude, what are you talking? Like, why would you do this? Like the business is booming. It's only getting better. It's like, but I've always come back in life, and this is, having some cooler older people around me growing up and stuff, that the word like enough just came into my head. And I'm like, I can either keep going for more and more and more and like burn out and potentially lose time with my family or like connection with my wife, or I can be like, that's good. Like I've had a great run. This is a great business. Like I've achieved, like, because with Uppercut for me, I was like, I just wanted it to be like a hair care product that actually dudes would be like, wear a t-shirt or whatever and go and be proud of it. Or like, I wanted to bring that barber scene back to guys, for me. And that was like my personal challenge. But then I was like, dude, I've got something else now. Like I've got this baby that's just come out and like this beautiful kid. And like, yeah, my wife and I were just like, let's get out of the city. And it was very idealistic and it was actually a really hard move to make. But I'm like, we've got a shot at this. Like we can get some money out of this business that we never would have actually, like I should just be standing behind a chair for the rest of my life and just be happy with that. So I think it was like, and like dudes like my brother is like, he's such a great sounding board because he's just such a good human being. And I'm like, I think like I'm happy. Like enough. Like,
Whoa. That doesn't really blend well with the capitalist society we live in. Come on, man. You need to make more.
Yeah.
Come
And
on.
dude, and I get it. Like, that's not taken. Like, I'm still super close with like my business partner Steve, who's still into it, and it's not taken away from that because it's like they're wired a different way. Like, they had really good family support to be able to enable them to keep going. But it's like everyone's just created different, and I'm just not wired to like for big business. Like, I'm wired just to be like, I just like life is so short. And I think this comes back to teaching. Like, my wife, like I've got a different mindset on life because like I've cut so many old people's hair over the years and I've seen so many old dudes die. Whereas teachers, they're seeing the potential of youth. So like my wife sees like, look at all these kids, they got their life in front of you. And I'm like, look at all these dudes like that I've cut hair over the years and I've had this relationship, and then their wife calls me and it's like, John, I just ringing to let you know John's passed away. Like, he used to love his chats with you. I just like letting you know he's gone. And I'm like, how rad, like that, I had that connection and that relationship with that person. But it's like, but how sobering to know that you can be like in a chair 2 weeks ago and then you can be gone, So I'm like, you have to suck the marrow out of life, and you can't be like stuck in, like safety and just chasing more and more for like, it depends what you want. If you want the Range Rover, all power to you. But if you're happy, you know what I mean? Like just living a simple life, I just think like it's such a gift to be able to go like enough. Like that is a word that just does not resonate in today's society. Like, we are constantly being like buy more. And that's like for me with Cocky, I'm like, dude, I don't want to pitch it and shove it down. If you want to buy the wheels, like buy the wheels. Like, you've got epic quality wheels and there's love behind it. But like I'm not going to peddle it to you. I'm not going to go on sale just trying to like, what I mean? Like, it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
brother, amen. Amen, dude. Like, you don't hear that often, that approach.
Yeah, it's
I see a lot of dissatisfaction.
Oh, but that's how what Western,
myself included.
Yeah, but I get it. Like, I'm like, some days I'm like, dude, like, I'd love to do this holiday, I'd love to do this or this, but I'm like, but it's just being content in the everyday. Like my plumber Monty, he's got this saying, he's like, every day is a holiday. And it's like, every day do something that just gets you stoked, that you can, like that you can find the joy in life, So yes. It's, anyway, that's my rant.
Dude, it's a good rant. So refreshing. It's refreshing, man. I was listening to you say it just go, and I was just like, so nice to hear.
I feel like we're all just carrying this massive weight. Everyone's got this expectation. Everyone's like just chasing more and more. But
would it be viable if you didn't get if you weren't successful with Uppercut Deluxe? Would you be saying a different thing here? Because it seems like might have given you some breathing space.
But it wasn't life change. You know what I mean? It's not like when people, it's not life change. Like, I still grind. Like, my wife's a teacher. I don't want her to be teaching. Like I would be stoked if I could be like, dude, I like sold for millions and this, and like, But like we still work. We still work every day. But I suppose like, like it's I don't know. And you know what? I think it's so rad for my kids to see that too. It's like
But also, like, one thing kids have taught me is the precious commodity of time.
Oh,
like I was oblivious prior to kids, and now it's like every second matters with these little ones.
100%.
So effectively, like, you're at home, You're cutting hair, but you're at home.
Yeah.
Dad's just out the back doing a few haircuts.
Yeah.
If I want, I can go out and just see him.
Yeah.
I know he's there.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
And
that.
I love
Put
that
a
they
price on that. Put a price on that.
and I love the fact that like they can come down and then get into a conversation with the customer. Like one of the old boys can,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that's cool.
Have
That's
you found
community.
with those older customers, it's a lot of, do they ever talk about things they would have done differently in their life? Or, are they giving like life advice? Like things that you should definitely do, like go and buy Bitcoin.
I think they teach you more about just not taking life so seriously, and having a sense of humor about things and not being so. I think it's so easy, like especially at our age, to be so serious about everything. You know what I mean? Like, but just to be like, I don't know, but definitely like given me like great advice, like with family and even business stuff. But I don't know, dude. It's like.
But that comparison you made between like, teachers effectively helping young people transition into adulthood as opposed to working with older people who are transitioning out of this life.
Yeah.
It's good contrast.
Yeah, and totally.
Yeah, because
puts it all into perspective.
it does.
Yeah.
So like
sure.
when we sit in a space like this that you've been skating for over 20 years.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have moments like I'm looking at pictures of you on the wall? There's some amazing photos, like that photo of you doing a frontside invert in the God Bowl. And I mean, does you look at that and go, that just feels like yesterday? Or
yeah, probably. Like it's even like when we were skating today, I was like, man, like, like just certain things that you you had wired, and then but it's rad. It's
you were
like,
ripping though.
Oh no, dude! I think it was just it was super fun to skate there and skate a pool again, but just try and get my pool legs back. Yeah. No, it was good.
Skating's
it was fun.
so hard. So look, I wanted to start to wind it up.
Yep.
Tell me how you came about acquiring Cockroach.
All right. So when COVID hit, 2020,
I remember.
I was cutting hair in my backyard, and like there's like everything just kind of died. Like and like people weren't coming to the bar, and then they were talking about closing down barbershops. I don't know if it was like that down south, but like they were closing down hair salons and all this stuff, and you couldn't, and it was almost like an illegal activity cutting people's hair in your backyard. And I'm like, what's actually happening here? Is this like, are we talking a month, 6 months, a year? And I was like, man, I should actually like, if this is like, it was chaos. Like who knew what was going to go on? So I knew the guy that had the trademark for Cocky. And I just called him up one day and I just said, hey, like, what are you doing with Cockroach? I know you want to bring it back. And he was like, dude, I'd love to bring it back. But in all honesty, like, he's like, I don't think I'm ever going to get around to it. So I was like, cool, like, have a think about it. If you want to sell it to me, like, I don't, don't have a lot of coin for it, but it's like, if you want it to go to a good home, let me know. So that's when, he just rang me back and it's like, yep, cool, let's do it. So that's when I started. Probably the worst possible time that you could buy a skate company, because skateboarding was absolutely booming, during COVID.
It was.
And you ring up any manufacturers and they're just almost like laughing at you, like, just like, dude, what are you talking about? Like we're like 6 months backlogged, like, or like we've stopped taking customers because we're like so busy.
Amazing.
So so it was just like far out. So it's been a real journey kind of getting it to here, but it's rad now. Got it all, like, it's actually quite funny because like you get it to an all point and then skating kind of just dies, but it's all good.
I don't know. I feel the energy from it.
Yeah, that's it.
I love how you've stayed true to the original feel and logo.
I just want to keep it
aesthetic.
like Aussie skate heritage, and like those who know, and like it's rad. Like Dan and like Swellbaz, like they're that next gen of just you know, and I think it's too, like, having team riders like that, hopefully that kind of inspires young groms that, you know, you don't have to do 540s or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to love skateboarding and love hitting coping. And, like, that's, you know, that's enough.
I just think Swelbo's indirectly or directly has become the ambassador of that.
Dude.
When he turns up to, like, formal skate comps.
Yep.
But no helmet, no pads.
Yep.
And, no, you know, not throwing 540s.
Yep.
Just
Yeah.
having fun and ripping as hard as he can and grinding the shit out of things.
Yeah.
It's like that's so visually appealing. Every time I watch him at one of those jam events, like whether it's Belco, Bowl Jam or Bondi, as soon as Swelbo's drops in, everybody's watching.
Dude, people get psyched on it. And it's so and I think hopefully that develops that longevity, because I think, you know, people go like, oh, you know, what about all these like young grom? And I'm like, like, it's so rad to watch them, and I'm not, but I'm like, I don't want kids to become disposable commodities where it's like, you're 14, like you're 10, 12, like 5, like this, you're in the Olympics, you win gold, and then, the next super grom's coming through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you don't want skateboarders to become commodities. And like the next kid is like, you want kids like personalities. You want people that love it, that inspire other people to go like, yeah, let's roll. Like, why are we rolling? You know, because we just love this stuff, you know?
It's a life, and it's a lifelong thing. Like, you know, I don't know if I was talking to you the other day on the phone, and it's like everyone keeps talking about how bad the industry is.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, and other people have said this, that the act of riding your skateboard with friends or cool people is as good as ever.
Still
and I
the
think
raddest.
This afternoon I felt that straight away.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, the boys turned up with some music, we're pumped, everyone's talking, cheering each other on, and then having rad conversations in between runs.
Yeah.
Like, you can't put it's just the best.
It's still the rad. And that's like, you know, I still hang out with like Andy McKenzie and like some of these, like, and talk to Scotty Spring and stuff. It's like when I have my rolls with Andy or like, that's still so rad. That puts such a big smile on my, or like skating with my brother at his backyard vert ramp. Like, to me, like, that's just such a highlight of the week to be able to get that. And that's what you want to preserve. That's what you want to maintain for skateboarding. And I think that's my only concern is like, people are like, why aren't you? I'm like, it's got nothing to do with like, you know, flow in the next gen. It's just, I want them to know like that they're not a commodity. You know what I mean?
Ooh, amen, brother.
Yeah, like it's like if a young grom's ripping and skating and's got their own thing going on, and like that's rad. But it's got nothing to do with medals or prizes or places. That it's just because you look rad on a skateboard.
Bro, I feel like that's a good way to end.
Go get our burritos.
You like burritos, don't you?
Heck yeah.
Well, man, is there anything you want to finish on anything like that? I mean, that was a beautiful way to end.
Nah,
it.
that's
you want to shout out anything?
Nah, it's shout out to my big brother Benny, raddest human of all time.
Why?
Just
the dude.
He just epitomizes skateboarding and radness.
Mr. Luke Newman, everyone. What a guy. Thanks, mate.
Cheers, bro.
See ya.